She began her modeling career at the age of 11 months. She appeared in her first film at the age of 9. She has since starred in 11 films. Her strikingly beautiful face has graced the cover of countless magazines. She's now written a book advising her generation on how to cope, and it's just simply called On Your Own. And I must say, she is one terrific young lady, as you will see. One of the most liked young people in our business. Would you welcome Brooke Shields? I saw a little shyness there, Brooke. A little.
You always make me so shy and nervous.
No, no. Just a simple kiss on both cheeks. Do audiences give you a little?
I don't really think so. I think it's, you know what it is? It's the anticipation when you're standing back and the curtain's just about to be pulled back, and you sort of want to run out there, and you know you're told that you have to wait for your name, and then you go throrough the whole introduction.
Do you like applause?
Oh, yes, it makes you feel good.
It does make you feel good.
I like to. I should applaud all of you. I mean, makes me feel so good to know that people are even interested in just seeing me.
I'm always interested.
Well, I miss you.
I know I miss you. I haven't seen you in almost a year.
It has been.
Circus of the Stars last year. We were co-MCs there together. That was fun.
That was fun.
But you didn't tell me how you did in your grades this year.
I did very well. I just got my grades back.
You're not going to tell me straight A, are you?
Yeah.
At Princeton, straight A? How could you get straight A's and be out at all those parties we keep reading about in magazines and newspapers? Or maybe you didn't go to them.
Well, no, actually, I really study a great deal. And it's possible. I think if you can organize your time accordingly, you can really study, you can do your best, and then you have time to relax and have a good time. It's almost, I was explaining this to a couple of my friends, it's almost like having a sport. I mean, instead of the time that I would be spending in practice, say, I would go into the city and either work or go to a party or something that would take up that kind of a time. And it's also good because it provides a diversion. It's something totally separate from school.
Yeah, you learned how to allot your time to play and to work.
Yes, I have, but I also think that it's helped me concentrate in each area. By giving myself a break from each area, I'm able to fully appreciate the latter.
What was your best subject, do you feel?
I think my best subject was probably psychology. I'm going to be a French literature major, but I found that I got most involved in psychology.
Mm-hmm. Analyzing your friends, are you?
Myself.
Yourself? There is a tendency to do that, though, when you study psychology.
You think you have every problem, you know.
And you think what everybody says to you, you can figure out where they're heading, right?
Yes, you start to really psychoanalyze everybody, or you're convinced you have every disease that's explained in the book. And our lecturer would say, now listen, just all these symptoms are, if they're in moderation, it doesn't mean that you have this disease. You know? So we're all sitting there really
Medical
convinced.
Students get that.
I think everybody does.
Yeah. School, everything you expected it to be?
It's more than I've expected.
Really?
It went past being academically wonderful. I mean, it provided an entire social area of my life. I mean, I have friends that I know I will have for the rest of my life, and they're my own age, and I'm happy with them, and I feel comfortable. Right. And it's really provided a very important part of my life.
A whole group of friends?
Yes. There are about 7 of us who are in school, and it's funny because I think we all have unwritten sort of checklists, right. And when you find those people that come clean on your little checklist, they're added to your group of friends, and it's like surrounding yourself. I mean, I live for friends and people and relationships, and I like to give myself to my friends, and I think that it's important to have a support system.
And they have to be excited for your success, too.
I think they are. Right. We talk about it. I didn't really discuss any part of my career in the first year because if no one was going to ask me, I wasn't going to just volunteer information. Right. But now my friends are starting to become more involved in it, and I take them with me whenever I can. A girlfriend of mine is with me now, and it's special to have someone always with you, I think.
I didn't think you'd be that candid about your life. And
I think, and I thought at the time it was necessary, I still do. When we were first approached to do a book, I wanted to stay away from a beauty book or an exercise book or something along those lines. And I couldn't really write a memoir book because at 19, I mean...
How about an ugly book? Ugly and lazy rather than beautiful and exercise.
I think it was important. What happened is it ended up being sort of a how-to book, how to cope. And what I wanted to try to... I wasn't really trying to set a record straight, but I wanted to... A lot of people look at me, and a lot of the feedback that I've gotten is that, oh, you have a perfect life, nothing goes wrong in your life, you're never unhappy, and it's all easy for you, and it's all been given to you. And,
well, we would think so from what we read.
Well, you know, I think on the exterior, especially if you're in my kind of a business, what you see is the glamour and the pretty part of it. And what a lot of people don't realize is the other side of it, what's happening internally and what happens on the inside that people don't really see. And I wanted to share my feelings with especially girls my own age that are trying to go through the same time period. I mean, it's difficult. Going from high school to college was one of the most devastating changes that I had to try to make. And
in what area?
All of a sudden, I wasn't at home, and I wasn't. Of course, I went home any minute I could, but I was all of a sudden supposed to be this adult that was at school, and I had to deal with things on my own and be myself. And all I wanted to do was go home, and I cried every night, and I wanted to go home. And then everything was just scary. I think it's a scary time, and there's a very fine line between wanting to be on your own, wanting to be an adult, and then still wanting to run home to mommy and say, you know, help. I want to, you know, suck my thumb. I don't want to be a big girl anymore.
At moments you have to assume the responsibility for your own life.
It becomes responsibility.
And actions. Yeah.
Exactly. And I wanted it to be an honest book. I'm not ashamed about anything in my life, and I felt that by writing exactly what was really happening in my life, possibly girls or people my own age could identify with that, and maybe it could help them. I didn't assume an authoritative role to say, do this and don't do this. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this is what I've done with my life and with the problems that I've had. And, you know, here are some possibilities.
You feel strongly about maintaining your virginity.
I knew
you know I'm going to go right for that,
I was going
right?
to go. Here it comes, guys.
Well, only because in our times it is very unusual. Nobody has come out and said that your age that I know of.
I think it's a struggle with a lot of girls. I wanted to make the point that I never have condemned anybody that was had a different way of approaching things. As I said, I'm not ashamed. I'm not necessarily proud because it's not something I really go around saying. Everybody else says it, but
no, but I'm talking about a famous young woman.
Well, I think in essence, what I'm saying is that I'm just like many other girls, and that it's okay. You should really think about yourself first, and no one should do anything for anybody else when it comes to yourself, because in the end, in the final analysis, you really only have yourself and your own feelings, and that's the only thing really that no one can take away from you. And if you give that up, then you're not really left with anything. And I'm just saying that it's important to do what you feel is best for yourself. And I don't think anybody's really said that. I don't know why. Maybe they haven't been really asked. I'm always linked with different people, and I think maybe that creates a great deal of intrigue. I just felt that it was important to say it.
Well, I would think peer pressure, that phrase you hear constantly, is the toughest
I would
to
think
face.
So too. You know, the whole idea whether it's in or not in, or cool or not cool, or it's, you know, there's a great deal of peer pressure, and I think that it's important for people to know that, you know, peer pressure is not really it. I mean, whether it's drugs or sex or drinking or anything, it's just something that you shouldn't do something because everybody else is doing it. I mean, do something for yourself.
And I can't believe there weren't a lot of Princeton guys sitting down and say, okay, which one of us is going to get Brooke Shields, right?
I don't know, I guess.
You took care of that in a hurry, didn't you?
Tell them to read chapters. Here, read my book.
And the pressure of that book alone, now that you've declared that, you have to remain that through the paperback edition.
Very safe.
And in case they make a movie, you have to still, you know.
Yes, exactly. I'll be on my own literally forever.
As long as the book keeps being
right.
so.